Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, we begin with His blessed name and we praise Him and we glorify Him as He ought to be praised and glorified. Okay, so let's start. We are into do today the last subtopics of genetics, and inshallah we are going to discuss about the application of DNA fingerprinting, as right now we are in DNA fingerprinting protocol, right? Some continuing points today we will start about it. So number one, we have to discuss that person can never have same VNTR. Child will not have the VNTR which is not present in parents. So of course person to person VNTR is going to be changed, different. VNTR, you understood that DNA sequence that its number of times getting repeated, that number repeating is called as a VNTR. Did you understand? And that will be different. Obtaining hybrid with radioactive probe. What do you mean by radioactive probe? If you remember, I told that especially in the criminal investigation branch or bureau, right? So there what is happening, those CID and CBI, whatever things they obtain at incident, they give it to the laboratory. The scientists, they are going to use such radioactive probe, which is a DNA sequence only, but it is a ready-made DNA sequence, which is treated with the radioactive elements. Why the radioactive elements they are using? Because they want some kind of detection should be easy because of radioactive using on the probe. Yes or not? So now please pay attention. Maintaining which is going to maintain the DNAs of the family with biological children and adopted children. So what they are going to do, that with the help of this probe we can not only understand the criminal activities, but also with this probe can be understood any human behavior, any human skin color, any human family members, the previous generation, where they had come from. We can find out by making the ready-made probe. By making the ready-made probe. So like this we can understand the family history also. But there, as I have told, that there is a lot of disadvantage of these things that which can be misused 100%. Yes or not? Next point. DNA fingerprinting is going to help in identification of paternity. So there is a problem sometimes that the child is going to be stolen and there will be a risk that he is my son. Somebody is saying no, he is my son. So in that, the father DNA and the son DNA is going to be checked with the help of DNA fingerprinting. Same maternity also, when the female is going to give the child birth, that time also there is by mistake and some kind of evil happened in the hospital and the child is misplaced. So in that case also, if somebody is those who have a good power to fight, they can go to the such DNA fingerprinting and give the result that no, he is my son, got it, and he is my daughter. Another point, DNA fingerprinting, it is going to give the details of family, as I have given right now. So very important role which is going to play, that is a probe DNA, that is the probe DNA. Not only biologically, means biologically also you can understand that this human has come from Africa, Japan or Russia, his parents. Not only that, but also non-biological relationships. What is this non-biological? Of course the mental behavior, person behavior, psychological aspects of the human being, that is coming to non-biological. Biological means their eyes color, their face and their stature, like what is the height and what kind of his personality, everything is biological. Did you understand what is a non-biological? Which is not the part of body. Something which is called as a mental, psychological thinking and opinion and his grasping and his intelligence, all this coming to non-biological. Pay attention, 49, now the very important thing we are going to discuss, that is, so what is happening? How the DNA fingerprinting is also taken to at final, that number one, it is happened that the DNA will be taken from the victims. What do you mean by victims? Who has suffered some problem, who has been raped or any kind of thing happened to her or him. So that is called as a victim's DNA. So DNA will be collected from his blood or cells, yes, and then ultimately what is going to happen? That DNA going to be checked that how many VNTR is there in his DNA or her DNA. So there has been found, it is an example, 24 times of guanine and thymine repetition was there in the DNA sequence, and the 16th repetition of the ATGG, that means adenine, thymine, guanine, and 66 times how many repetition of that? Adenine, thymine. So that means in the victim's DNA, this VNTR has been understood. Now let's check. Second, section of suspect DNA. So you can doubt on 10 people as a CBI officer, CID officer. So all the 10 people's DNA will be collected and will be kept into the suspect DNA, and they have been checked randomly once. So what has been found there? 49 times guanine and thymine repetition, 16 times adenine, thymine, guanine repetition, and 51 repeats their adenine, thymine, thymine, which is going to match with whom? Let's understand. So whatever at the incident the officer has collected that sample, like hair or any blood drop, from that whatever the DNA was extracted, it has got this VNTR, which is 49, 16 times 80 GG and 51 times 80T, which was completely matching with whom? It was matching with suspect. Yes, to whom those you suspect. Doubt. So ultimately doubt will be clear. To whomsoever DNA will be matched with the same VNTR will become the report. Did you understand till here? So that was how we have to understand the DNA's protocol, which is completed till here. Next, which is a last subtopic of genetics, that is application of DNA fingerprinting. So what is that? First we need to talk about what is this DNA fingerprinting is going to be used. So this is something which can be made please to your ear. As I have told that this is when in listening it is very good, but practically what is happening, you have to think critically, you have to check it with your open eyes. Then only you will understand. Yes or not? Islamic. So we were discussing about application of DNA fingerprinting. So what is this? This is just pleasing to ear but will not please to your heart. Let's understand what is that. So the first pleasing word, conservation of wildlife, means they are giving the information that the wild animals, they are going extincted, so we have to worry about them. We must save the tiger, but we must kill to the human beings. Did you understand? So is this stupidity or not? You must have traveled into train journey number of times. You must have seen in the ground, in the ground, in the many places it is empty. Lakhs of liters, that is kilometer, it is completely empty. Nobody is living there, and people there also are saying too much crowd, population is increasing, there is no place, there is no. So is this stupidity or not? Because people are being diverted because they do not have any practical foundation on it. Simply just believing on deception without making critical thinking. As a human being, we must be critical thinking to understand, because God has gifted with that. If somebody will not use them, they will become animal. Got it? So this is just how the pleasing to ear. That conservation of wildlife means all the extincted animals should be saved. Protection of endangered species, those who have been very dangerous, that they will be no more, and they have forbidden to use such radiation of 5G. Will it not kill you the birds? Tell me. So this is some kind of playing of the words, maintaining their DNA records. See, they have checked it with every single organism DNA records is saved. For what purpose they are saying? Identification of the tissues. Fine. Science has its advantage and it has disadvantage. But advantage is very less and disadvantage is very more. Right? So let's understand. And then dead endangered species also, their data also they have saved it. Taxonomical application. What do you mean by taxonomical application? This data is going to give more help to the classification. Agreed. I am not saying that this will not give the helping to internal and external characters people will understand, but this is going to make a very big drama and big game because of this genetics. Are you understanding? Because how many people will be knowing on this genetics? Very less, few, and in them also they are blind. Those who are we are seeing professor, doctor, they are also blind because they do not have access with, they did not believe the internal knowledge. That is the holy words. That's why we can't expect that these people will save us. Are you understanding? For that, the human must stand individually, should understand this topic. So what I am trying to say, study of phylogeny means comparing who was father of this animal. Tiger is living in Antarctica or India, or if it is living in America, what kind of changes is there, who were the parents of this tiger or any other animal. So So like this, the characteristic matching is actually the study of the phylogeny. Study of the phylogeny. Another point, pedigree analysis. What is a pedigree analysis? In human diseases, it is very helpful. It is checked that if mother has some problem, son is going to have. If father has problem, then daughter is going to have. That's why it is said that to the believer that we must be fearing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We must be fearing to be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, this is going to come into your children's. Your behavior is going to come into children's. Did you understand? Can we connect with this? Yes. Next point. Anthropological study. What do you mean by that? Charting of origin, migration of human population. Means those people have migrated a long 100 years ago, 200 years back, or 1000 years back. So should be checked out that their parents were used to live where, on which place of the earth. So this can be possible with the help of DNA fingerprinting. Got it? Now you can understand people have reached to that, and this tools has gone to with the evil type of people. Then what is going to happen on the earth? You can understand. Yes, agreed. Next point. Medical legal cases establishing paternity, maternity, which can move to the accurate. Of course, there problem comes sometime that the child is going to be called by two type of fathers, but no one know that who is the real father. So in that the DNA sequence is going to have. That is absolutely good, right? And even the maternity also. And then forensic analysis. Number of times in my previous class I have explained you that forensic analysis is actually a very tough type of biology which is come under into the genetics. So any criminal activities at the incident, whichever things is obtained as a semen or blood, whatever things, so from that the DNA is going to be extracted, and that is going to make the helpful report which will help for the identification, and like this the suspect in crime is going to be revealed. So thank you for to be with me in the genetics. I hope that you have learned so many things with it and understand, believe and apply in practical life when you are connecting this external knowledge with the holy words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you are definitely going to understand that this is what going to give you message and information. So thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.